And thanks for joining us today on 13 News at Noon. I'm Anne-Marie Tiernan, along with meteorologist Sean Ash. This is a Weather Impact Alert Tuesday. We had heavy rain this morning, as predicted, and now we're preparing for another wave yet later today.
Yeah, and the one later today may have a little more teeth to it here, and I'll explain. I know right now it doesn't look and feel like severe weather, but we think that will change here over the course of time. But we've got some downpours, another batch moving through the metro area as we speak on live Doppler 13 radar here at this hour. You'll see some of the rain moving through. Trust me, it's coming, and there you have it. So this is not severe, but it is going to dampen those midday plans here with this latest wave that's pushing through. Locally heavy, they will be that. You may have some rumbles of thunder with this, but these will not be severe. You can see all the cloud cover that we have, which is good. Again, it doesn't feel like severe weather. We're in the 50s at this hour. As we look back to the west, you can see where things are breaking up, getting to some sunshine. 70 there in Springfield, Illinois, 73 in Lincoln. And then as we examine the moisture content in the air, again, we're on the stable side of the front right now. But it's the position of this warm front later today, which more than likely is going to be draped almost across I-74. So it's going to get more humid to finish the day. And what eventually happens is we'll see some of the storms developing over here, and they're going to kind of ride along that boundary, and that front will enhance the rotation potential of some of the storms. And we're thinking probably a little after 4 o'clock, but before 10 p.m. Storm coverage may get scattered to numerous, and there's going to be spin potential with these as they move through central Indiana. So it would not surprise me before we get to 10, 11 o'clock if we have some tornado warnings or some severe thunderstorm warnings. So we want you to be prepared for that. Street flooding impacts, locally severe wind and hail. We mentioned the rotation. You should have multiple ways to get any alerts that might be issued for your area, and we will keep you updated. We'll let you know what follows up this wave of severe weather ahead in the forecast.
All right, Sean, thanks. We'll check back. Meantime, new at noon today. A father is facing a preliminary charge of murder in the death of his 5-year-old daughter. Metro Police tell us they were called to a house near Washington and Rural Streets on Monday morning on the report of a child who wasn't responsive after falling down the stairs. Police say they found the girl who had experienced some type of trauma, but unfortunately they could not save her. The coroner has now identified the girl as Zara Arnold and is now working to confirm how she died. And just moments ago, IMPD Chief Chris Bailey released a statement on the girl's death, saying in part, "I am heartbroken by the tragic loss of 5-year-old Zara. No child should suffer such harm, especially in a place that should be safe, their home." This afternoon, 6 students at IPS are safe after their school bus crashed on the east side, shutting down intersection there for hours today. Metro Police say it happened around 6:30 this morning near 21st and Ritter. We're told that school bus was carrying 6 students. They were headed to the Andrew J. Brown Academy when it hit a traffic light pole. The front end of the bus is damaged and several traffic lights will have to be replaced. Our crews at the scene saw all the students being released by EMS to their parents. One was put on another IPS bus. Metro Police say no one was injured and the crash remains under investigation. We now want to give you an update to a story that we first reported as breaking news earlier today on 13 News on Sunrise. We've talked with IMPD, and officers now believe that a deadly shooting on the east side in fact was self-inflicted. It generally is our policy here at WTHR to not report on self-inflicted shootings, but since we previously reported this as a fatal shooting with a person detained this morning, we did want to make sure we provided you with the latest updated information this afternoon. The man convicted of shooting and killing a Beech Grove police officer 25 years ago has been executed. Benjamin Ritchie died by lethal injection overnight at the Indiana State Prison in Michigan City. The execution was just hours after the highest court, the Supreme Court, denied a request for an emergency stay in the case. Ritchie was sentenced to death for the murder of Beech Grove police officer William Toney. He was put to death by lethal injection with the drug pentobarbital. The AP News is reporting that 5 people were allowed to witness the execution of Ritchie. Media witnesses were not allowed in. Last week, Indiana Governor Mike Braun denied Richie clemency following the parole board recommendation. An Indianapolis man now is starting his 110-year sentence for killing 2 people back in 2023. A jury convicted Jermaine Randall in the murder of Sean Barnett and Larry Moorman. That shooting happened in January in 23 on the east side near North Walcott and East Washington. According to police, several witnesses say that they saw Randall drive away from the crime scene shortly after the shooting. The jury found him guilty in April. And turning now to a fiery town hall that was hosted by Indiana Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith. A protest led by Indiana Senate Minority Leader Shelley Yoder assembled outside of that meeting. Our crews were in Monroe County, where voters there got a chance to engage with lawmakers and ask tough questions.
Hoosiers ready to engage with Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith. A packed house in Monroe County greeted him tonight for his town hall, and demonstrators gathered outside in protest.
I'm very opposed to the comments he's made about DEI and the ways that that is ruining the country. And in fact, I think that as a person of faith, that our diversity is what makes us beautiful as human beings.
He took a variety of questions from the crowd inside. One person asked about racism in America.
Do you think that blacks tend to be mistreated at a vastly greater rate than whites?
No, not today. Not today. Show me. So there is something that the left likes to push, that systemic racism still exists, right? It doesn't.
The topic of education also came up, including concerns about a state house proposal that called for sharing public school funds with charter schools.
Can you explain how public schools are expected to maintain under these circumstances?
We're saying, okay, we're spending a lot of money on public education. Why aren't we at the front of the pack? Why are we constantly in the middle to the low end on the grading scale across the nation? And so I think one of the things you do is you bring in free market mechanisms. You bring in the competition. And I think that's what charter schools are going to do. I'm a big advocate of charter schools because it's competition.
In April, Governor Mike Braun was given total control over choosing members of the IU Board of Trustees. An IU graduate asked Beckwith for his thoughts on this.
How long do you just want to give it up instead of waiting for the lawsuit to make it null and void?
No. IU has not been fair and unbiased in their teaching. Without a doubt, I will stand on that every single day. They have pushed propaganda. They're pushing a woke agenda. Yes, they are.
Moments during the town hall may have been contentious, but we talked to several people who appreciated the opportunity to be heard.
Honestly, I mean, the fact that you were willing to stand here, we disagree on a lot of things. That's fine.
That's all right.
But the fact that you were actually willing to come here makes a difference.
I like the dialogue. I like it when people throw the tough questions at me.
Questions and concerns these people hope he takes back with him to the State House. Logan Gay, 13 News.